Are you enjoying the process of sport, or are you worrying about the outcomes and winning?
I love boxing. Boxing is my passion. There's a stress, of course. It's not an easy sport. You always have to perform under pressure, which I also enjoy at the same time. It's like a mixed feeling. It's stressful, but it's great. There's nothing I would change. I love it. It's easy for me to wake up in the morning to go to the gym, train hard. I come back. I'm happy whenever I'm sore and I struggle. It's okay. So I can say without a doubt that I love boxing.
Do you think that you have something different in your makeup of who you are as a person to be able to handle the stress component of boxing?
I'm sure that it takes a specific kind of people to be able to perform under that kind of pressure, but that I would say it's not only towards boxing. It's every athlete have to have something special. I would say especially one-on-one sports. It could be tennis player or anything. The fact that you have to deal with all that pressure all on your shoulders. You cannot rely on any teammate. But at the same time, I don't think I could ever really perform in a sports team because I'm a complainer. I don't accept defeat really well, and it's okay to put that kind of pressure on me, but it's not necessarily right to complain about people all the time. So sports team were not for me.
Just curiously, not written here, do you have a mentor that was close to you? For example, what's your relationship with like your father? Like, is your father like you, or are you just completely unique in your family to have?
I am. I'm not like I have some similarities, I guess, with my family members, but they're not really. They're not like me exactly. No, definitely not. They're not big sports people. Right away, it was never something that they push. They never pushed me. They always supported me when I was a kid and I started to box. But boxing is such a difficult sport, and I guess you can call it sacrifices. You have to make a lot of sacrifices to be able to perform, and these sacrifices has to come from inside. You have to be able to make that decision yourself. If somebody pushes you, you'll never be able to. When it's time to make your weight, when it's time to train hard, if you're doing it for somebody else, there's no way you'll be able to perform. So I guess the fact that they never push me, I always push myself, helped me in that way. But we're not. I'm not like my parents, really. You know, it's different.
It's interesting because you're not the first one to tell me that. So I think obviously it has to be accurate that this truly lives inside of you, and that sets you apart from what the average person is like. Question about, you mentioned teams. So since you're basically a one-man show or an island, you know, at the end of the day, do you have any rivals or opponents out there? Is there anybody that you kind of mentally are up against in your head on an emotional or personal level, not just on the fight card?
Not really, no. I mean, whenever we have a fight, then you start focusing on your on your opponent, but there's nothing like on a regular day to day. I don't think about anybody. I really focus on what I have to fix on myself, whatever I have to do to get better and improve. But I'm not really worried about anybody, I guess. I respect a lot of fighters. I know there's a lot of great fighters, especially in the 147 division, the welterweight division. But you can't start thinking about all these guys, whatever they do, whatever they don't do. You just gotta focus on yourself, improve your skills, and try to become the best boxer in the world.
You made me think of, just as a personal level, you have a lot of friends who are boxers. Do you compete with them? Just, not directly, but is it something that helps fuel you? Because
yeah. Whenever we run, I always want to finish first. It's important. I don't always, because there's lots of good athletes in that group, but it's very important for me to try to win every little things. That's it. I'm a very competitive person, and I'm sure it's a very important trait of character to become a successful boxer. You can't accept defeat, and I don't. I try every little thing I do. I try to win. When I walk with my son to go to school, I try to get to the light before him. We joke around like this, but yes, I am very competitive. And although I love the guys I train with, I always want to beat them.
Have you ever played a video game simulation with your friends in boxing?
No, I don't. I'm not a big video game fan. My son has a Wii. My daughter doesn't even care for it. I don't really care for it either. So we're not big. We're not big on the video game.
It's probably a good thing. You could have a lot of wars. Okay, question on after a fight. Do you have a process in terms of how you deconstruct the experience from a physical level and also from an emotional and psychological level? Is there basically a recipe that happens after each fight?
A recipe, I don't know if you can really say, we say that, but we try to have a debriefing after the fights to take a little step back and look at what we did right, what we did wrong in the fight, in the training camp, in my life in general. Like, was I more stressful? Was I more stressed than before? Was I okay? So we try to see what went right, what went wrong. We built on the positive. So we always try to have a debriefing after the fight, but really it's such a demanding period before the fight that after the fight you just enjoy the win, to be honest with you. It's very important to take it easy, not to push yourself too hard. Like, sometimes I like to get back in the gym very soon, very fast, but you gotta be careful. We push so hard that it's important to get yourself a decent recovery. We have to manage that, but I would say that there's nothing really specific after a fight.
Can someone tell you when you're in a good position, or let's say you're headed down a bad path emotionally, mentally, you're kind of getting lost? Can someone else tell you? And by that I mean, are you willing to listen? Because I just imagine that with your profile type A, that it can be really hard. So who is there someone? Can they do it?
I'm hard minded. Like, I don't listen so well. But no, it's not true. I listen very well, but sometimes I don't react. Like, I won't react properly right away. But I guess my wife, she knows me really well. She knows if I'm in the right place, or if I'm like, that's it. Whenever I go to training camp, she's always more nervous because she's not there to look to see how I'm feeling and how my training is going. Whenever I have my training camp here in Montreal, she's able to really appreciate, I guess, my training, and she's able to see it if I'm in the right state of mind and if I'm in the right position. So I would say that she's a pretty good judge. She'll know before the fight if I'm going to perform or if I'm going to struggle, just by the way I'm training and the way I'm acting.
That's interesting. So there's a woman behind the
always.
beast. Question on the US. Okay, so these are potential fans right now that are learning or getting to know you. So if you were introducing yourself to a US fan, let's give a little bit of a snapshot on who you are, your big wins, your history, and then also we'll do a message to the fans that might be meeting you for the first time. So just a bit of a history.
Alright, so I'm a Canadian fighter with a record of 31 fights, 29 wins, only 2 losses. I fought on HBO twice last year. I won a title in the NEB and the WBO, WBC. I won the NEBF. I've been ranked in the top 10 position for the past 4 or 5 years. I went all the way up to the number 1 position when Manny Pacquiao was holding the title, but then I got an opportunity to fight for the WBA title, so I lost my position. And I'm action-packed fighter. I'm a pretty good technician. I like to come in the ring always well prepared. I throw a lot of punches. My fights are usually exciting. Unfortunately, I get hit a bit too much to my own taste sometimes, but I guess that's that's what makes it fun. A little bit of blood is always fun for the fan, and I can guarantee you that on March 28th it will be an exciting night. My opponent comes to fight. He's a very tough guy. He beat an undefeated fighter from Canada not that long ago, so I'd like to erase that and start from scratch. So don't miss it. March 28th. It will be a great night.
It's really good. A little bit of blood for fans. Just to make sure they're watching. I liked your comment about sometimes you're getting hit more than you'd like. So the question is, are you worried about how you look in the ring? Does it ever, when you're in there, or even let's get out of the fight actually, because I'm sure your mental state is different, but does it matter to you at the end of the day how you look? Is it part of the external pressure? Does that matter to you?
How do I look? Like, how do I perform?
Like, yeah, I guess the first question is how you're performing. If there's judgments coming from the outside, is that something that factors into where you're at? Or at the end of the day, it's truly only inside of you that this is?
I would be lying if I said I didn't care about what people think. I want to be a big star. I want people to enjoy watching me, so it's very important. I want people to enjoy the fight. I want people to appreciate their night. So it is very important for me to give a good show. I want to win first thing. It's very important to win, but it is very important for me that people are having a good night. They come to fight. They pay they come to the fight. They pay the big bucks to be at the stadium, and I think it's my responsibility to give them a good night.
You've been fighting for a long time now, and you have a very big following in Quebec. What's the craziest thing a fan's ever done?
I don't think I can say that.